This is TechCrunch. As speed becomes the defining currency in an AI-driven software world, Blacksmith has raised another round led by Google Ventures, just 4 months after its initial seed round to accelerate how code gets shipped. The $10 million Series A closed in just 14 days, with Google Ventures doubling down after first backing Blacksmith's $3.5 million seed round in May. At the time, Alphabet's VC arm bet on the size of the market and the founding team, which included veterans of Cockroach Labs, another GV portfolio company. But for this round, GV was swayed by results. Blacksmith, which offers a continuous integration and continuous delivery service for developers that complements GitHub Actions, had pulled in hundreds of customers since May. And the boom in AI coding agents has blown the market wide open. That's according to co-founder and CEO Aditya Jayaprakash in an exclusive interview with TechCrunch. The San Francisco-based startup hit $1 million in annual recurring revenue in February with just 4 people: Jayaprakash, co-founders Ayush Shah and Aditya Maru, and a product designer. Since then, revenue has reached $3.5 million ARR with more than 700 customers, supported by a team of 8, and the company is aiming to double that figure by year's end. Founded in January 2024, Blacksmith was born from the experiences of its founders, who met at the University of Waterloo before building large-scale distributed systems at Fair and Cockroach Labs. There, they saw firsthand how costly and unpredictable the build and unit testing stages of software releases, known as continuous integration, can be. Jayaprakash said, "You would have to spin up hundreds of machines and burn through hundreds of hours of computing power just to test new code before shipping it." A typical software development process involves developers continuously pushing new code into repositories, such as GitHub or AWS Code Commit. To manage the testing and integration of that code, cloud service providers such as Amazon Web Services, Google Cloud Platform, and Microsoft Azure all offer their own solutions. But these are often slower, costlier, or less predictable than teams need. Unlike many rivals that rent generic cloud servers from cloud providers like AWS, Blacksmith's service runs on high-performance gaming-grade CPUs. The result, the startup says, is up to double the processing speed and lowering by as much as 75% compute costs. And because teams can switch by changing just a single line of code, they can start shipping faster within minutes. By using hardware at its premises, the startup improves its margins as it grows its customer base. Blacksmith also offers test analytics and an observability roadmap, giving customers deeper insights into GitHub Actions, GitHub's CI/CD platform that automates how developers test and deploy software. Blacksmith targets companies with teams of 500 engineers or more. Customers already running their GitHub Actions through the platform include Ashby, Chroma, Clerk, DevSisters, Mentlify, Pylon, Slope, Supabase, and Veed. The latest funding round also saw participation from existing investors and angels, including Spencer Kimball, CEO of Cockroach Labs, and David Kramer, co-founder of Sentry. Blacksmith launched out of Y Combinator's Winter 2024 batch, and today has a team of 11. Icarus Robotics co-founders Ethan Barajas and Jamie Palmer spent hours interviewing astronauts about what it was like working in space as they homed in on their startup idea. Their big takeaway? The work was often more cargo logistics than cutting-edge science. One astronaut observed, "We're Amazon warehouse workers with PhDs. If an experiment takes 2 hours on station," the person continued, "the first 90 minutes are spent just moving around cargo and preparing tools. It's a dismal waste of top talent." The logistical burden is tied to cargo resupply. Every 60 days or so, roughly 3.5 tons of cargo arrive at the International Space Station, and all of it must be unpacked and stowed. Barajas and Palmer, who met at the Entrepreneurs First organization, knew there had to be a better way. Their pitch? Use intelligent, dexterous robots to take over these time-sucking chores. But they're not starting with humanoid robots. Instead, Icarus is taking an iterative approach and starting with a simpler, fan-propelled robot with 2 robot arms outfitted with jaw grippers. Icarus just raised a $6.1 million seed round led by Soma Capital and Extol, with participation from Nebular and Massive Tech Ventures to get there. The look of the first robot is a function of the tasks it will do, unpacking and stowing cargo. Palmer, who brings the robotics expertise to the enterprise, said that when you move to bimanual manipulation or the coordinated use of 2 robotic arms at once, you can get around 80% of the needed dexterity with simple jaw grippers, as with a complex anthropomorphic hand. A lot of the science experiments astronauts perform on the ISS are also fairly simple in practice, like swapping out cartridges, which is another area that a robotic labor force could come in handy. The team recently performed a terrestrial long-distance teleoperation demo with a bimanual jaw gripper system, unzipping a real ISS cargo bag, unpacking it, and zipping it back up again. Palmer said, "We were able to demonstrate that you don't need to go the whole way to hands to get meaningful dexterity at a long distance." Next up is flight testing. Icarus plans to conduct a parabolic flight campaign in the new year, followed by a 1-year demonstration on the ISS via Voyager Space, operator of the commercial Bishop airlock. The plan is to spend a year de-risking the full suite of cargo bag operations, then step into finer-grained tasks related to station maintenance, like filter and seal inspections. The robots will be teleoperated at first, and Palmer said the ISS is one of the few work sites where you can justify having someone behind the wheel of the robot at all times. The labor arbitrage margin is so big that Icarus can have a skilled, high-paid robotic operator for a year. The company's long-term plan is to build autonomy and general-purpose capability via embodied AI. It mirrors what's happening in terrestrial general-purpose robotics on the ground, adjusted for the physics of microgravity. This means collecting data in microgravity with a human in the loop and turning that data set into the foundational models for on-orbit robotics. From there, Icarus aims to roll out partial autonomy where a human selects higher-level primitives, a set of commands that's simplified into intelligent commands like open the bag or unstow the items. Ultimately, the goal is full autonomy for deep space locales where teleoperation isn't viable, to complement human space activity. Barajas, who brings the space experience, said, "We don't want to remove the astronauts. We want to augment them. We want to make the short time that they have on station as profitable and as research-heavy as possible." That's it from TechCrunch. For more tech stories like these, go to TechCrunch.com.